The command line mode of Python is also related to same thing, where it provides the environment for executing Python commands. So the float is none other than a data type with the decimal values. So the example follows like 3.14 minus 0.5, etc. Keywords are the reserved words in Python which cannot be used as identifiers or functions, anything. Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the first session that's under Python programming, and this is with respect to Unit 1, and we have completed day 0 session. Day 0 is all about understanding a complete subject, that is Python programming, like what is the number of units which is there in the subject and what is the outcome of learning the subject, as well as the internal assessment marks and the external question paper pattern. Each and everything is been discussed in that session. So I request you to go back and check that video before going with this session. All right, over here my name is Deepa Kutnikar. I'm working as an assistant professor under Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Let's go with Unit 1. Unit 1 is all about Introduction to Python Programming. Let's move forward and understand the agenda of today's session. In today's session, these are the things that were discussed. Don't be scared by seeing the agenda. It's very simple as well as easy. So in today's session, we will be discussing the basic things like what are the features of Python applications as well as Python versions that are available, and we will be understanding like which is the current version in which we are with and what may be the future version of Python. Up next, we will be discussing how to install the Python and how to go with the installation process. Each and everything is discussed in today's session. Then we will be understanding the Python command line more as well as different IDEs that will support the Python. Up next, we will be seeing an example of simple Python program. That's our initial Python program. We will be starting with it. And the example that we have considered in today's session is none other than adding two numbers. Then we will be discussing what are identifiers, what are keywords, then what is the difference between statement and expression. Is there any difference or both are the same thing? So we will be understanding it. Followed by we will be understanding the variables, different operators that can be considered in Python. Then later we will be also understanding what is precedence as well as association. Up next we will go with the data types as well as indentations and what are the different built-in functions. Then we will go with console input output. Up next we will be also discussing what are different Python libraries. Then finally we will be discussing how to deal with the library functions, like what is the syntax to import that library files and all the stuff. So this is the agenda of today's session. So let me tell you, this is a complete basic of this subject and it is very helpful for you to understand, as I have already specified you that the Python is one of a very important as well as an initial language if you want to start with a good career. So it's better to learn each bit with a very best knowledge, as it will be very helpful for you to understand and stay updated with a knowledge, which will be in turn helpful for your career. All right, initially let's go forward and understand like what is the features of Python. All right, I'll move here so we can see this. So this might be familiar, or if not, it will be familiar for you from now onwards. This is a symbol for Python. And now let's understand like what is the features of Python. It is none other than initially it is open source. The language is very simple as well as an interpreter language. It also can be considered under OOP because it is also an object oriented programming language. Then we can say it has a high level language. It is one of most useful GUI programming language. Then also it is a expressive language too, which contains a large set of standard library. So we can say this is a complete pack of goodness for application development, gaming development, etc. All right, so these are simple features of Python. Now let's move forward and understand like what is the various applications of Python programming and where is this Python language being used or utilized. Various applications of Python includes educational purpose, then in business applications, then game development, web development, followed by operating system development, then a complete software development. We can also design the GUI with respect to desktops by using this Python. Then finally, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Yes, this is a bestest language that is utilized in order to deal with machine learning, as it is very simple and a high level language. Game development, web development all becomes very easy. That's why I am repeating it again and again. So this is a complete application based subject. It is very helpful for you to understand and learn each and every bit with that commitment that will help you to earn. Also, I'd like to mention one more thing, that whenever you sit inside that Python programming class, please pay attention and learn and understand the things, as it will be a basic pathway for your future. All right, so these are the applications of Python programming. Now, let's see like which is the version of Python that is existing as well as which is in our future trend. All right, the Python 2.x is the legacy version, in the sense it is like almost ended, and we are dealing with Python 3 point something, and this is a current version. So can you guess which is the current version of Python that's going on? Yes, it is none other than 3.14 version, and this is a complete latest as well as the stable Python version that is available. Next, can you guess which is the next release of Python? Is it 4 or 3 point something? Yes, it is none other than 3.15, which is under pre-release. Also, the focus is completely given on the performance as well as the new features. So this is a pre-release version of Python, and which is the current version, it is none other than 3.14. So these are the Python versions that are available. As we understood the latest version, now let's move forward and understand like how to download and install the Python in your systems. So for that, you have to first go to the Python website and download the latest version of that, which is available by seeing the specs of your system. You have to check like which is the version that is supported to your system and download that version. Let me tell you, the official Python website is none other than, it's www.python.org. So this is the official website. You have to visit this page and check like according to your system. You have to verify which is the version that will support the specs of your system. So this is what the first point is. Next, once you download, you have to click on that download and you have to give permission for that app to get installed, and you have to go on following the instructions that is provided by your operating systems. Up next, you have to verify the progress of installation, that's by using command line interface. So this is how you can download and install the Python program in your systems. I would like to point out one more thing. So please go ahead and install the Python software in your systems. It will be very useful for you for your final year projects or internships, where you can go with different Python related projects. All right, let's move forward and understand like what is Python command line interface. Before moving to Python command line interface, let's completely understand like what is command line interface first. It allows the users to run the scripts as well as execute individual statements, and the command line mode of Python is also related to same thing, where it provides the environment for executing Python commands. Then we can also run the Python in the command line to start the interactive shell or the console. So this is all about command line mode. Now let's see like what are the IDEs that is been supported by Python. IDE is none other than integrated development environments, and which is the IDE that supports Python debugging as well as writing the codes in Python. So it is none other than PyCharm, Visual Studio and Spider. So you might have done your labs. Those who are from computer science background, that is, you people have studied computer science in your grade 11 and 12, you might have done your lab programs with respect to Python, that's in Spider, I believe. So that is a very useful IDE. But along with that, we also do have PyCharm as well as Visual Studio, which are the best supported IDE with respect to Python. Now let's move forward and understand a simple example that's under Python programming. And the example that we have considered, it is none other than a basic thing, that is addition of two numbers. So it starts with getting the input from the user. So for that, what is the syntax we will be writing? So number one, we have considered the data type, that is a float, followed by input, and what has to be displayed for user, it is none other than enter the first number. Similarly, for second number, we have to specify the data type, and we will be giving the message to the user that enter your second number. Okay, giving input is done. Next, adding two numbers, correct? So this is the main thing. Here again, we are going with sum underscore of underscore numbers, which is been assigned with num1 plus num2. So we are utilizing the addition operator in order to add the two numbers. Now we have taken input, we have added it. What's next? We have to display it, correct? So that's none other than display the sum. So to do that, we will be going with printf statement. Printf the sum of number 1 and number 2 is none other than, what is that? Sum of two numbers. So this is a simple program for addition of two numbers. So let's see the output for this program. So the user will be asked the message that enter the first number. So the user will be entering 5.5. Similarly, next the user will be asked for second number with the message enter the second number. The user will enter the second number, which is in float, that is in decimal point, which is 4.5. Finally, our result will be the sum of two numbers, that is the sum of 5.5 and 4.5 is equal to 10.0. So this is a very simple example with respect to Python. Is it difficult? No, right? It's very easy and very similar to other programming languages too. Now let's understand like what are identifiers as well as keywords. Identifiers are none other than the names that are given for different variables, functions as well as classes. There is a rule that identifier should always start with a letter or just with a underscore. It can contain numbers, letters and underscores only. Next, let's understand what are keywords. Keywords are the reserved words in Python which cannot be used as identifiers or functions, anything. So keywords examples are if else, for, while. So in this way, there will be specific terms that is provided and it cannot be changed for any reason. So those kind of words are considered as keywords. Up next, let's see like what are statements and expressions. Are they same or are they different? Let me tell you that statements and expressions both are different. Statements are none other than the instructions that will perform the actions. But expressions forms a combination of variables, operators that evaluates to a value. So that is a main difference between the statement as well as the expression. Now let's see the example for each of them. With respect to statement, we can see x is being assigned with a value of 10 plus 5, where we have assigned a value of 10 plus 5 to the variable x. Similarly, print of hello world. So this will output the string to the console environment. Next, if x is greater than 10. So this forms a control flow statement that checks whether the provided number is greater than 10 or whether it is less than 10. So this is a simple example for the statements. Now let's move forward and check the example for the expressions. As I have already said, expression is just a combination of variables, operators, as well as different values. So the examples will follow in this way, where 10 plus 5, it is been evaluated to 15 and it is described as an arithmetic operator. Okay, next one, hello plus world. So it has been evaluated to hello world. It forms a string concatenation. Next one, length of Python. So length of this word Python is being evaluated to, it is none other than a 6, which is a function call that returns a value. Similarly, x greater than 10. So it has been evaluated to true or false. Correct, right? It will check the conditions whether the provided number is greater than or less than 10. So it is considered under true or false. It has been evaluated under true or false, and it forms a relational or Boolean expression. So you can just verify here, just the assignment operator is missing. With the assignment operator, it forms a statement. Without assignment operators, just with the values, variables as well as different operators, it forms an expression. So this is the only difference between statement and expression, and we have understood that statement as well as expression both are different. All right, let's move forward and see like what are the variables that is being utilized under Python. So variables are none other than the containers for storing the data values. And how will it assign? It is by using the assignment operator, which is none other than equals. So let's see some examples. So name is being assigned with Alice. So it is a text value and we can either use a single quote or double quote to represent it. Next is age. It is been assigned with whole number value. The data type which is formed under this is none other than int. Next, price equals 19.99. So which is the data type for 0.99? It is none other than float, correct? So what is going on here? A number is being assigned with a floating point value. So is underscore active equals true. So this is the next one. And by seeing this true, we can just identify that the type of data type that is utilized here is a Boolean one, correct? So what is going on here? A Boolean value is being assigned for is underscore active. Next, let's go forward and understand what are operators. Operators are none other than special symbols that perform operations on variables or different values. So let's move forward and understand what are the different symbols that is used has different types. So the first type that we can consider is arithmetic operator. Under this, the operators or the symbols that is utilized is none other than addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, etc. Next is assignment operator. Assignment operator in the sense the first thing that comes into our mind is none other than a simple equal along with increment, along with decrement, then a modulus. In this way, these are various assignment operators. Next type is comparison or relational operator, where it deals with equal, equal, followed by not equal, lesser than, greater than, and all these things. Next one, logical operator. Logical operators are none other than AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, etc. Next is bitwise operators. Bitwise operator are bitwise NAND, bitwise NOT, bitwise OR in this way. Next one, identity operator, which is none other than is not, etc. And next one is a membership operator, which includes operators like in, not in, etc. So these are the different special symbols that are considered as operators, and it is used according to the end users. Up next, let's move forward and understand what is precedence as well as association. So precedence is none other than the order that has been specified for the operator which has been evaluated. But association is different. It is order in which the operators with the same precedence are evaluated. So this is precedence as well as association. We can also define association as a relation between two or more classes where the object of one class can interact or connect with objects of other class. So this is a difference between precedence as well as the association. Next, now let's move forward and understand different data types. So these are the things that we have discussed maybe from the starting of computer science subject, correct? So again, we are revising the same thing. So it starts with integers, which are none other than our whole numbers, and the example for them is none other than 1, 2, 3, etc. Next type is float. So the float is none other than a data type with the decimal values. So the example follows like 3.14 minus 0.5, etc. Next data type is strings, where it holds the sequence of characters. The example is hello or hello world, etc. Next data type is a Boolean one, where it holds true or false values. Next is a list type of data, where the data is arranged in an ordered form. The example for them is 1, 2, 3. Next one is a tuple, which is a ordered and immutable collection of values. And the example for that, like if we consider a coordinates, so the coordinate will fall 10, 20, and we will be printing the same print of coordinates. The output will be 10, 20. So we can say even it is a ordered as well as immutable collection of different values. So these are the various data types that we considered in order to write our code. Now let's see what is indentation. Indentation is very, very important because you'll be studying this in your future units in a very depth way. So that's why in glance, what is indentation? As the name itself says, it is none other than ordering, correct? And it is used to denote the block level structures. Typically, 4 spaces are considered for indentation, or we can directly consider it as one tab. All right. Up next, let's see what are the built-in functions that is considered under Python. So it is none other than print of, which prints output to the console. Next, input of, which reads the input from the console. Next one is type of, which returns the type of values. And next one is a len of, which returns the length of sequence. So these are the various built-in functions. Up next, let's see what is a console input as well as console output. So the console input is described by considering input of, which reads the input from the console. And next one, for outputting, we will be using none other than printf, which prints the output to the console. So these two are the different keywords that is used for console input and output functions. Next, let's see what is type conversions. So the type conversion includes int of, which converts a value into an integer. Similarly, float of converts a value to the floating point value. Next, str of, it is used to convert a value to the string. So these are the different keywords that is considered for type conversions. Next, let's see what is a Python library. So as the name itself says, library, it is none other than collection of, correct? But with respect to programming, the library is none other than collection of code, or we can also say it forms a collection of pre-written code, and whenever it is necessary to import some information from that library, we will utilize import statements. What do we use? We use import statements. Now let's see what is the syntax in order to import the library. It is import of library underscore name, which imports the entire library. Next one, from library underscore name. So we have to define the library name, and inside that library, which is the function has to be imported, even that we have to mention. So for that, import function underscore name. We are defining the function name. So it is used to import a specific function only. Next syntax is import library underscore name as alias, which is used to import a library with an alias. So these are the various syntaxes that is utilized to import libraries. Now let's see an example for importing library, that is import space math. So this is the name of a library. Now what do we need from that library? Print of math.py. From that library I need py. Okay, so what is the syntax? From math import sqrt. Now py is done. Again, from the same math function, if I want to retrieve the sqrt, that is square root of, again I have to go with the same, from math import sqrt, and what it has to be printed? Print of sqrt4. So the square root of 4 is required. All right, this is done. Next, if I want to import any pi value, so numpy, import numpy has np, and we have to print in the same order, print of np dot array, followed by the list what has to be printed. So these are the basic example that is used to import various libraries. All right, this was all about today's session, and in the upcoming session we will be understanding and learning about Python conditional statements. So this was all about today's session, and we have successfully completed session 1, that's under unit 1, and I'll see you up in the next session of unit 1 itself. Till then, thank you.